It's been a while since I last uploaded on this channel. Some of you even got worried that I have some health issues or got worried I will be never coming back to my most favorite, my mother channel. I call this English channel mother channel. I started this almost 4 years ago. How could I ever leave this channel? It's just my other job got more busier, and then I challenged myself to open up another YouTube channel in Russian. So time is never enough. I keep running after time. I can never catch it. But I'm back, and to be honest, your letters made me come back even faster than I was planning. And with this comeback, I want to make something that I really enjoy making, and that's bread. It's a simple, I should call it quick bread, but I never rush when I make breads. It's a honey oatmeal bread by a recipe from my friend Anna. I already posted this video or recipe in Armenian and Russian. So English version by many of your requests. What we need: simple water, preferably warm water, and milk. You can go either with regular milk, or I'll add almond milk. Coconut milk will work just as fine. Measurements and recipe will be on my blog at heghineh.com. Recipe link will be below this video, just as usual. Also, we'll add coconut butter. Go with regular olive oil or any kind of oil, or melted butter if you prefer. About 2 tablespoons. And then honey will go next as a wet ingredient. I'll mix all my wet ingredients and start adding dry ingredients.
John, you have 93%.
I know. He wants to use my phone. He says you have 93%. About 2 tablespoons of honey.
93.
93?
Yeah.
That's even better. Okay, so I'll mix this very quickly and add my dry ingredients. Since this is a honey oat bread, there is a oat. This is old-fashioned oats. I think any kind will work. In fact, I made with steel cut oats. It works just as fine as old-fashioned. About a cup of oats. A little bit more. And it's a bread. You will have to add yeast. I'm using instant yeast. If it's an active dry yeast, be sure to activate in a little bit of milk or water before adding to your ingredients. A teaspoon and a quarter of a teaspoon instant dry yeast. Quick mix. And there is a whole wheat flour in this recipe. About half a cup. You can always go with more whole wheat flour to make the bread even healthier. So I'll add about half a cup per recipe, but you can even go with 1.5 cups of flour. Then one thing I want to make sure you pay attention when adding whole wheat flour or even regular flour. With all breads, make sure you don't follow the recipe exactly. You want to make sure add the flour as much as the dough is asking you. Let's say the recipe is asking you to add 3 cups of flour. Don't add all 3 cups at once. Add as much. Сейчас. Now I started speaking Russian as if I'm so good at speaking Russian. Okay, so I'll add about 1.5 cup. The rest of the flour, that half cup, I'll add just a little bit. It's just an example. In this recipe there is almost 3.5 cups of flour. So I'll go by little, half a cup at a time. And then as soon as my wooden spoon is no longer able to mix everything together, I'll switch to hand kneading and add the rest of my flour. And I'm not forgetting the salt, no. There is 2 teaspoons of salt in this recipe. Just a little bit more. Okay, so I'm almost done with this dough. And yes, you can do this with your mixer, electric mixer, to avoid that beautiful therapeutic process of making bread. We're almost there. Arka, you okay? Okay, it's time to turn the dough on your clean surface and enjoy that my most favorite process of making dough. Kneading it by hands and taking my time, getting rid of all those bad energies and thoughts and making a beautiful bread. Okay, so this is the time when you will be adding the flour a little at a time, just to help you work with the dough. No more than that. And if it's very sticky, just use your scraper. By the time you're done kneading, your surface has to have no extra dough pieces or no flour. It has to be nice and shiny and clean. Okay, the dough is ready. It's still quite soft and smooth and maybe a little bit sticky, but I'm not adding any more flour. I'll simply put this in lightly greased bowl, cover with plastic or towel, set aside to rise. About an hour or as long as it needs to double or even triple in size. And first this side and then the opposite side down. Okay, let me put this aside and bring the one I made earlier so you don't have to wait that long. Okay. Aka done? You wanna help? No? This is the one I made earlier, and I personally prefer proofing my bread dough at least twice. What that means is when the dough rises and doubles in size for the first time, you simply remove all that air from the dough just in its own bowl, just like this. Make it flat and then cover and let it rise one more time. This has been already proven twice, so I'm not gonna do it a third time, although sometimes I even do it third time. Cold fermentation in fridge, bread comes out even more delicious. No, but we're not doing it right now. Lightly cover with, where is my scraper? Your surface with flour in order for the dough not to stick and for you easier to work with it. And kind of flatten like this. And this is, again, you don't have to if you don't like adding any seeds or anything extra to your bread. In this case, I have to do it. I'm adding about half a tablespoon of flax seeds, a little bit of chia seeds. Eyeball it, nothing will happen. You can even add poppy seeds. And then sunflower seeds, just like so, and roll it. As you roll it, you bring it, you make some sort of a ball, and let me get a little bit more flour, it's easier to work, it's a little bit sticky. And make it into nicely shaped bowl. With the help of your scraper, place the dough on a parchment paper or wax paper, anything that will help you not to get the dough stick on in the bowl. My perfect English. Okay, and what I'm doing, I'll have to cut the sides. And you can bake this bread either in Dutch oven or anything that will be suitable to bake in the oven, if I say that correctly. It needs to rise another 30 minutes or 40 minutes until it's kind of nice and puffy and double, tripled inside. But I can't stop making that noise because you want to give your bread nice design. You will probably slightly wet it. Anka, let's not make that noise.
Stop!
Stop? You should stop.
No!
He's got an attitude now. That naive and previously very quiet boy has an attitude now. He's 7. Okay, and I'll sprinkle with a little bit of those seeds, sunflower seeds, maybe a little bit of oats, and cover with lid, set it aside to rise. And I'll see when this is ready. You're yelling at your mom, Arka. That's not nice. I'm very offended. And I may go to another house and be other people's mom. Or maybe not. Maybe you should say sorry. You're okay, it's okay. Don't cry, okay? It's okay. But don't yell at mom or dad, okay? Okay, don't ever do it, okay? I love you so much. The dough has been proofing almost 30 minutes and I preheated the oven to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. One quick detail. I'll be baking this bread covered the whole time, almost 45 minutes covered. Because if you notice, this pan I removed the lid because it's not suitable for oven, to bake in the oven. So this little hole will allow the bread to rise and bake and get that golden crust even covered. But if you are using Dutch oven, let's say with this kind of lid and it has no holes, no nothing, you will bake 25 minutes covered and then remove the lid, continue baking another 20 minutes uncovered. 20 minutes or until it's nice and golden color. That's it. That was the only small detail but very important. Into the oven this goes. Timer 45 minutes. I baked it 45 minutes, depending on your oven type, depending on which kind of pot you're baking it. The time may vary, but for sure 40 to 45 minutes. Of course, you will let the bread cool down slightly, at least slightly, before you slice it. And how you slice it? Easy peasy, the best part, the best sound. I want you to look how soft and fluffy the inside with all those seeds and chia seeds, seeds and chia seeds. And of course, you enjoy your bread the way you like it. My favorite is fresh, warm bread with slightly warm salted butter. let me tell you, this is probably one of my favorite snacks ever. It's crunchy outside, almost melting with slightly crunchy seeds inside. So delicious. Try it. Let me know how you liked it. And of course the recipe will be on my blog at heghineh.com. Link will be below this video. Try it and I hope you like it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for standing by and waiting for me patiently. I'll be back to this channel very often, promise. See you soon. So good.